Is there any solution to Ethiopia Eritrea conflict, Ethiopia Egypt tensions, which have been ongoing for years? Is there a solution which could be considered? People say, Sajid, you always make videos about issues, about conflicts, about disputes. You never propose solutions, or you never give coverage to the solutions which are being proposed. You are a conflict entrepreneur because you benefit from conflicts. Uh, I never back uh, conflicts. I never promote conflicts. I expose conflicts. I warn about conflicts. This video is about a solution which could be considered for lasting and durable peace in the Horn of Africa. Even that solution which I'm going to propose is going to be criticized too. It's not ideal, but it's very close to what can bring peace to the Horn of Africa. Let's analyze the solution which could perhaps secure peace in the Horn of Africa. Now, there are three main players when it comes to lasting peace in the Horn of Africa: Ethiopia, Eritrea, and Egypt. If Ethiopia and Eritrea make peace, that even that won't guarantee lasting peace in the Horn of Africa, because Egypt and Ethiopia have been at the loggerheads for years. If Egypt and Ethiopia solve their problems, that won't guarantee peace, because Ethiopia Eritrea tensions running high these days. And in a way, Eritrea and Egypt are allies. So it is difficult to imagine an agreement between Ethiopia and one of these two rivals. It means that the solution must encompass three parties. It should be a tripartite agreement. It should be a trilateral agreement which can give a hope of peace in the Horn of Africa. The solution should involve three countries: Egypt, Eritrea, Ethiopia. Now, question viewers is, what are the concerns of these three countries? Once you know their concerns, then you'll find ways of addressing those concerns. You'll find guarantees, and those guarantees will be made part of the agreement. This is how agreement will be finalized. So one must be clear about what are the fears and concerns raised by Eritrea, Ethiopia, and Egypt. Egypt has one main concern. It does not want Ethiopia to be in a position to restrict the flow of water into River Nile, because Egypt relies on River Nile, and River Nile water is Egypt's lifeline. That is why Egypt from day one has been opposing the construction of Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. It wants Ethiopia to sign a legally binding agreement about GERD. It wants assurance from Ethiopia that Ethiopia won't build similar dams, that Ethiopia won't unilaterally release or store water in the dam. It wants an agreement which will cover all the concerns of Egyptian government, legally binding agreement between Egypt and Ethiopia about River Nile, about GERD dam. This is Egyptian concern. What about Ethiopian concern? Well, Ethiopia is building a narrative. It says that it wants access to sea. It has a growing population. It has a vibrant and developing economy. It is in need of sea access. It cannot feed millions of people with lack of access to the sea. And Ethiopian government says that access to sea now is an existential issue for Ethiopia. This is what Ethiopia wants. It wants access to the sea. What about Eritrea? What are Eritrean concerns? Eritrean fears? I think Eritrea internally believes that Ethiopia never accepted Eritrea as a sovereign, independent country, and that Ethiopia always wanted to annex Eritrea. Eritrea is a small country. Ethiopia is a very larger country. So Eritrea insecure. It believes that Ethiopia wants to annex Eritrean territories. It wants to annex a support. It wants to annex entire Eritrea. There are people in Ethiopia who say that yes, Eritrea should again be part of Ethiopia. Some people in government have been making such suggestions. Nina Mufti, I remember, implied that a few years ago. It means that there are three main concerns, or three main of the three governments. Eritrea fears Ethiopia wants to annex Eritrea. Ethiopia wants access to sea. Egypt wants legally a binding agreement about GERD. It means that if the three countries start negotiations and they reach an agreement on these three issues, an agreement backed by powerful players who can implement the agreement, who can take action against those who violate the agreement. If it happens, it can solve so many issues. Are these three countries in a position to start talks and negotiate such an agreement? I don't think so. On their own, they won't be able to solve this issue. On their own, I don't think that they will trust each other and sign such an important document. It means there must be some powerful, neutral, external players who should be interested in peace and security in the Horn of Africa to convince the three parties to talk and reach an agreement. Western countries, Americans, and some Middle Eastern countries, very powerful players in the Horn of Africa. It was the US which mediated Pretoria deal. Without US intervention, Pretoria was not possible. US tried to mediate between Ola and the Ethiopian government. That mediation did not work, but US tried. So it means that Western countries, Middle Eastern countries, especially Americans, can play a role. But we are presuming that the US, EU, Middle Eastern countries, they want peace to prevail in the Horn of Africa. Do they really want peace to prevail here? That is debatable. Some want conflicts. Some know that conflicts pave the way for their entry, for their expansion in the Horn of Africa. That is why we need to be clear about the presumption first. Are Western countries, American leaders and Middle Eastern countries interested in uh, convincing Eritrea, Ethiopia, and Egypt to reach an agreement for peace and development in this region? Difficult to say, but for lasting peace, I think this is what the three countries will have to uh, discuss. Eritrea must be given security guarantees that Ethiopia will never invade Eritrea. Ethiopia could be given sea access, but not under duress. The host country has every right to negotiate terms and conditions. And Egypt and Ethiopia can reach an agreement about dam operations. I mean, one day these countries will have to trust each other. If they don't trust, they'll keep on fighting. They'll keep on mistrusting each other. They'll keep on igniting conflicts. They'll keep on buying weapons. They'll keep on waging wars. And maybe one day they will realize that they need to sit and solve issues. If TPLF and Eritrea can solve their issues, Abiy and Isaias can do the same. Al-Sisi and Abiy can do that as well. Once your interests align, you find solutions. And the interests of the three countries lie in peace and stability and development in the Horn of Africa. Thanks for watching.